Hey, what is up, guys? Murphy back for round number 3. And this hand is fine. We'll keep this. And we're against another blue deck. Sure. Let's get rid of the chat. Alright, so we can get... Drawing a second Hazoret is a bit annoying. That if there's anything I want to change main deck, it's definitely to cut the third Hazoret, but I'm definitely going to keep playing this list for now at least. Do we want a mountain? And we'll just pass the turn. So next time we can go Achievement Aether and Greenbelt, or we can play a Voltaic Brawler. Puzzle. Okay, so we're against Marvel. Because we're against Marvel, I think we just want to kill our opponent as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to play the creature of more power, which is the Voltaic Brawler, because he can pump up to 4. And we'll just ship the turn back. We should be able to get Hellbent fairly quickly, other than these lands, because we just got a lot of like 1 mana spells. So this should be good if we want to get him with Hazoret as quickly as possible. And unfortunately we drew another land. Well, I guess we can Achievement Aether, get another mountain, so we can start pitching 2 cards a turn if we want to. We'll play a forest and play the Greenbelt. And we're just going to attack with the Voltaic Brawler and pump it. Like, we can trampling over for 2 is fine, and getting rid of their creature, and we don't want to wait till they get the Marvel, because then they get a free energy from that as well. Like now if they want to play the Marvel, they can't actually activate. Oh, okay, now they can. They've got an Aether Hub. They're just going to pass the turn, so I expect they have Glimmer of Genius, or they're just going to crack this and have like a Harness Lightning. So because they're playing a Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, I expect that, I think it was Shota's list that was playing 1 Shrine, so just going to keep that in mind. Which if you didn't see the Pro Tour, basically there were a couple of different decks of the or different variants of the Marvel deck, and the one with the Shrine, I believe, was the one with Glimmer of Genius, and it was a little bit more grindy and control-y than the other typical variants. We'll play an Aether Hub. Unfortunately, it looks like we've had a fairly slow draw, so I don't think we're going to be able to race them. But if they don't have an Aetherworks, which it looks like they don't currently, so they're going to be able to dig 5 cards if they have Glimmer of Genius. So they can scry 2, draw 2, and then a draw for turn. But that means they only would have gone through, like, what, 44 cards? Oh, sorry, they would have gone through 16, but they would have 44 cards left in their deck. Just trying to work out how likely it is for them to draw 1. Alright, let's get in for 3. And we will play the Long Tusk Cub. And pass the turn. We have 4 energy, so we can pump this twice if we need to. Let's go Glimmer of Genius, which is fine. Yep. So now they have 6 energy, or sorry, they have 8, but they have 6 enough for the Marvel. Then if they crack this, they get 4 more, because they get 3 from here and then 1 from the Marvel. So they're actually on, like, effect. They can get up to 12 energy, which is 2 spins, which is typically enough to find an Ulamog. But if they're playing the list from the PT, the one with the Shrine, then I think they were playing 3 Ulamogs. So it's slightly less chance of them getting one than if they're playing like the more aggressively combo version where they play 4. See what? Due to them taking quite a while to consider it, I'm going to assume that they didn't get a Eldrazi, because yeah, it's got a Well of Virtue, so that's fine. And a Scrap Heap Scrounger. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we're going to play the second mountain here, I think. And well, I guess we can attack first. See what happens. I doubt they'll make a Thopter because they probably just want to get up to 6 energy. So what they could do is just block. But then again, they do have this to crack next turn, so they can get 4 from here. So this gives you 3, and then this triggers once when this dies, or leaves the battlefield, or whatever it does. When a permanent is put into graveyard, okay. So I'm expecting a block somewhere. They're gonna make a Thopter? Okay, sure. So they'll go up to 3 and then they'll crack this and they go up again. Okay, that makes sense. They're not in any real danger at the minute, anyway. And then we're just going to play Hazoret. Just because we want to try and enable that as quickly as possible. And yeah, we just have to cast our big spells to get Hellbent as quickly as possible. And they've got the Dissenters main deck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the list from the PT. Crack the Puzzle Knot, go up to 7 energy, and gain 3, which is a bit annoying. And they're going to spin main phase? Sure. I'm not sure why they're spinning main phase. Yeah, that's just game. Which on to the next one. If they hit Ulamog, there's not too much we can do about it, especially not game 1. If we have like enough creatures on the board, sometimes you can get through it, but it's pretty unlikely. So you just want to bring in Manglehorn in this matchup. Manglehorn is it blows up the Marvel, blows up some of the artifacts that generate it, generate energy, and also it just makes Marvel come in tapped, which is pretty relevant. Cards we don't want. Glorybringer is just too expensive. We want to just kill our opponent as quickly as possible, and I think Glorybringer is just too slow. And then cut like a Hazoret. We don't want either Fatal Pushes, so if we're going to keep something. Don't hate keeping a Chandra. The problem is that their deck is the more controlling version, so excuse me. I'm not sure how aggressive we can afford to go. Like, obviously, normally if you're against a combo deck, you want to go as quickly as possible, and if you're against a control deck, you want to board in like Planeswalkers because they're more harder to deal with. But they're kind of both, so I'm not sure what the correct sideboard plan is. I think we just want to be as threat dense as possible, really. So I can see cutting some unlicensed disintegration just because they're not amazing in this matchup. And then we can play like Serpapard over it. And again, just have as many threats as possible. If they have any counter spells, then Prowling Serpapard would be good against them. Yeah, I think this looks fine, which we'll give this a go. I'm not sure what the exact correct sideboarding is against this matchup, just because it's a very strange deck to play against, because they're a combo deck with control elements, which kind of makes it a little bit strange. And we definitely want to go first. Alright, well, we've got a 2-mana 4/4, so I think this is a keep. We can't enable it on turn 3 yet, but we have some good creatures, so I think this is a good keep. And we'll just play the Forest and pass. This hand could very easily go badly if we don't draw a second green source or something to enable the Half Kieran, just because then all we have is a Long Tusk Cub, but I think it should be fine. Another Half Kieran. Okay. I think this actually probably was a mulligan thinking about it now, but that's fine. We'll play Long Tusk Cub and pass. Hopefully we can get in a hit with this and then try and get it out of Harness Lightning range as quickly as possible. We drew Hazoret. Okay. Well, we're not going Hellbent anytime soon. So if our opponent does have the Harness Lightning. Okay. So it does look like this is the list from the PT, or that, or this playing a very, very similar one. We'll keep up the green just to represent Harness Lightning. We don't have it, but doesn't hurt to represent it over a Fatal Push or a Magma Spray. Like, this is the problem with this hand. I don't think it was actually a keep, because now we don't act like the Long Tusk Cub is like the only creature in the deck that doesn't activate Heart of Kiran pretty much. It's like one of the very few ones. In fact, I think it is the only creature that doesn't. Mountain. So it looks like we're just going to go play Hazoret, crew the Heart. Yeah. And it looks like we're just going to have to start discarding cards that deal 2 damage. I think this hand is just way too slow, depending on how they board. If they board out like a lot of the combo, then maybe we can grind them out with Hazoret, but it's not looking great. So if they want to block the Heart of Kiran, they have to make a Thopter, which obviously is not ideal for them. And we can't attack with the Long Tusk Cub because they block it with this, and it gives them an energy. Or it would just die to a 2-3, but more importantly, we don't want to give them energy. Actually, no, it probably is more relevant that a creature dies, but we don't want to give them the option to do either. And they got Puzzle Knot, which is fine. I believe it's 3 to sacrifice, yeah. This might just be a bad matchup, I'm not 100% sure. But if it is, then this deck might not be a great meta choice, whilst Marvel is like the big dog or whatever. Like, it's just the most popular deck at the minute. Alright, that was a pretty good draw, so now we can crew the Heart of Kiran another way as well. So we'll crew using the Voltaic Brawler because it's not going to be blocking anyway. And unfortunately we can only attack with the Heart again, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Again, they can make another Thopter if they want to, but they're choosing not to, which suggests to me that they value the energy more for either drawing cards or they've got a Marvel. Just going to cycle Sensor, sure. If we don't draw a Forest soon, we are just gonna have to start pitching these to try and get the Hazoret in the red zone. They're gonna attune for a red source. And back to our turn. Okay, so we drew Ronas. Ronas is active now because we've got Hazoret, but it would have been really nice to draw an extra land so we could start doing like play Ronas and play a land and discard a card, and we can just get Hellbent quickly. These Hydras are really stuck in our hand. I'm actually frequently disappointed with how good Hydra is in this deck as well. Whilst it's a very good card, it's almost just not aggressive enough for this deck, which is crazy because the card is amazing. So we're going to attack with the Heart of Kiran. I think we're going to attack with the Voltaic Brawler too. Because we can pump it up to a 4-3. Going to make a 1-1 to block the Heart of Kiran. Wait, what? Oh, they're going to trade into the Brawler. Absolutely fine with that, not a problem. Used up a bunch of their energy and gotten rid of something that makes jump blockers for the Heart of Kiran, so definitely not a bad trade on our part, I don't think. And then we'll play Ronas, and we are playing around Sensor by keeping 1 mana up. Not that we're choosing to, but it just happens to be that. So they're going to Glimmer again. Probably looking for a Marvel here. And I haven't actually realised that Ronas does block Ulamog quite nicely. Doesn't kill Ulamog, but Ulamog doesn't kill Ronas either, unless you get the cast trigger. But besides that, gonna crack the puzzle knot? Sure. Oh, they're playing another one, sorry. I thought they were cracking that one. And there is the one of Shrine of the Forsaken Gods. Okay, our land here was actually pretty good. Or it was better than nothing, at least. Let's go green, green, red, black. Play the Bristling Hydra, and then we can use that. Get 3 energy, sorry. And now we can attack with quite a lot of things. And again, if we can somehow get rid of some of these sooner or later, we can attack with those as well. So we can attack with the Long Tusk Cub and threaten to pump it twice to kill this, which I think is okay. We won't be able to protect that Bristling Hydra then, but I think that's fine. We just have so many different threats at the minute that I think we just want to try and get as much damage in as possible. They're probably going to Glimmer first to work out how they want to block, if they want to block at least. I wouldn't be surprised if they just block here and then tap to draw a card. Oh crap, we do not want to yield until end of turn. Well, I guess we have to pump twice. So now if our opponent wants to use or try and get Ulamog in play, then they can only exile 2 threats. So they'll probably go with something like both gods. And then we've just got like the Heart of Kirin to try and get in the extra damage. That's fine. And again, these are 3 mana, so... Wait, they're attuning first? Sure. I don't know why they've attuned there. And they've just played another... Okay. And they're just straight away going to activate the Aether Works. So they have to hit Ulamog here, I think, is the only... Yeah. Get both gods. Sure. So we can play Bristling Hydra, crew the Heart of Kirin, attack for 4 in the air, and these 2, and that should just be lethal. We don't have a second green source. Shit. Well, we can always... The problem is they're going to keep gaining 3. And these are legendary, so we can only keep 1 in play at once. Alright, well, I guess we just crew this. So we did have the option of just attacking with both of our creatures on the ground. And hope that they block the Bristling Hydra, get 2 energy, and then try and cast it, but it just doesn't achieve anything. Like, we're getting the same amount of damage, but all we do is net 2 energy, and I guess it does kind of... No. Because of how the board state is, I'm actually going to play these Heart of Kirins just to get Hellbent, because I don't actually want them in my hand. So if we draw Hazoret, we can use Hazoret to get in the red zone. So yeah, we're just going to play those, cycle through them. It puts us behind, but again, like, they've got an Ulamog in play. They've got 3, 6, 9, effectively 9 health right there. So they're on 13, and we're chipping in for 4. Like, they can spin the marvel again this turn. I'm pretty sure this game is over, but we'll find out. Radiant Flames? Have they got another Radiant Flames? Not sure why they did that. They just pass the turn? Okay, sure. So, for whatever reason, they've decided to tap out, which means that we now have Blossoming Defense to try and sneak in some more damage. Just trying to work out if there is some way we can have lethal. Doesn't look like it this turn. Again, we're just going to crew and crack in for 4. And they're going to activate Aetherworks Marvel once we've attacked anyway. I don't know why they're Radiant Flames there. Like, all that did was just increase our chances of being able to win by like a load because they can't crack a second Puzzle Knot. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not even remotely looking like we're in this game, but them playing the Radiant Flames, wasting 3 mana so that they can't activate another one of these to gain 3 if they need to, it's just... seems like a reason to like give us increased odds of winning for no reason. And we'll just pass. Our opponent is like so far ahead, but they're not attacking with the Ulamog yet either, so things aren't as bad as I think they could be. They Radiant Flames again? Sure. Oh, that one killed the Bristling Hydra. Why did the other one not? Did they cast it for 2? I think that's why they did it then. They must have just accidentally cast it for 2. And I'm keeping the Heart of Kirin here because if they can only crack one, if they for whatever reason tap incorrectly, then they can only gain 3 up to 6, and this is 4, 5, 6. So that's the reason I'd rather just Blossoming Defense on the Heart of Kirin and sneak in the damage than keep the Bristling Hydra alive, because the Bristling Hydra and the Long Tusk aren't attacking anyway. And of course we now draw the green source. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll tap like that. So if this resolves, we can use the energy produced from here to fuel the Aether Hub as well. Sorry about that, it's just my phone. And we're going to crack in for 4. 1, 2. Yeah, so if they do something other than crack both puzzle knots, like if they just, I don't know what they could do, but if they like use their mana for anything else during combat, then we will just Blossoming Defense. Like here, if they try and harness lightning this or something. Wow, okay. Well, we're going to try. I don't expect this to work, but if we're going to win, this is going to be how it's going to happen. So now they're going to crack the Aetherworks in response, and if they don't hit something to stop this Blossoming Defense, we do just win. Well, they haven't actually gone to blocks yet, so they... Nah, they've just got another Ulamog, sure. Our opponent's playing like incredibly like dangerously. I don't want to say incorrectly because I don't know what's in their hand, but it feels like they're giving us way more of a chance than we should have. I'm just going to concede at this point. We're so far behind, there's no way we're getting through that damage now. They've got 6 cards in hand. They can crack the Aetherworks again. Yeah, I think those games were they weren't even close really, but we almost snuck in the damage in the second game, but that wasn't because of the matchup or anything. That was just because our opponent was playing questionably, I think. Anyway, that was round 3. On to round 4. Peace.